This quick DPS build provides a lot of boons while also being quite mobile, having plenty of CC, and most importantly is really easy to learn. Today we're gonna take a look at Quickness Herald, the power variant that is. I'm Simmer, and without much further ado, let's jump right in. So this is the sword staff variant. Let's start with the gear. You want to play full Berserker gear with Rune of the Dragon Hunter for maximum damage, of course. And the only thing that is not Berserker is your back piece, it's Dragon. And you want to run Relic of the Thief, that's the best damage option relic on this build. It passively activates if you do your, let's say, rotation correctly, so you don't have to think about it. For weapons, you only want to use sword. That's the only weapon set you're gonna use. If you need CC, you will swap to your second weapon set, but it's not for damage, and that the second weapon set is staff, of course. If there is a much, let's say not much, but a little bit more damaging build, which doesn't use staff but greatsword, but has a more complicated rotation, let me know in the comments if you want to see a build guide about this, or rotation guide especially. But I wanted to share this build because it's really easy to learn and does almost the same damage. It's only 3k lower at the top end. And you want to run Berserker here with Force and Air on the swords, and on the staff I chose to go for Absorption, because if you, for example, run this build in an open world scenario or fractal scenario, the boon steal on your interrupt is really good, and you also have a really strong CC with staff, so that's why staff is so good. For food or consumables, you want to run Superior Sharpening Stones or equivalents of those, and of course Cilantro Lime Sous Vide Steaks. Just maximum damage you can get. So this build is all about providing quickness and a lot of other boons. And it also has a really nice functionality of having ability to extend the boons you give to your allies, which is really strong. So you can help out allies to upkeep 100% of their boons. But we will get to that later. So now, before I get to the trades, I want to remind you, if you want to see more build guides like this, be sure to subscribe. And now to the trades. So you want to run Invocation, Devastation, and Herald. Invocation gives you Fury on Legend Swap. You get more damage or you deal more damage while you have Fury. And when you break a stun, you get energy. That's not that important in PvE. And you get some more damage from this trade. You get some boons. Most notably, actually stability on swap to the Dwarf stance. You can run this, so if you need stability, you can swap Shiro for that. But Glint will give you some protection, which is nice. And here, that's the most important trait in this trade line. While you have Fury, you get more crit chance. And it's actually really, it's a huge amount. So you can easily crit cap. That's why you take the Dragon piece, because you can so easily crit cap. And then Devastation, some vulnerability application, some more damage, even more damage, even more damage, some might application, and some huge damage buff when you hit targets that are below 50%. Really strong. Then we have Herald. Herald alters your F2 skill. We will get to what it does later. Then it improves when you use this trait. Most importantly, of course, the Glint improvement, because it will increase the boon duration on allies by an additional second. And you get some more maximum health, always nice to have. That's really important here. With shared empowerment, it gives might to allies every second when you apply a boon. And you apply a lot of boons, and you therefore can easily get your allies to 25 might with this build. Really good, because some support builds struggle with this or need some support. And then you have concentration, really nice, and some bonus damage per boon. That's why this build is heavily reliant on having a lot of boons. Really good would be all of them. to get the maximum damage. You won't achieve that in most scenarios, but it's good to know. And then your quickness application trait, when you have 6 or more upkeep pips, so to say, running, you apply quickness every second, and that's really strong. So every second, almost 2 seconds of quickness when you upkeep it. Therefore, you can easily upkeep your quickness, and you even get some concentration based on your power and some healing. This is really overloaded, this trait, and there are a lot of options how to upkeep this, so you won't struggle if you just stick to the, let's say, really easy rotation. So now to the skills. I will go shortly over it. The 2 skill is just some nice damage around you. Your 4 skill is also really important because it does some damage in front of you in a cone, also immobilize. And then your 5 skill is a teleport, which will also do some heavy damage. Your 3 skill you won't use normally, it's just an evade, but it's DPS loss. And your auto attack is really strong, but it's backloaded, so you should always try to finish it when you start it. Then your healing skill is some nice damage inversion, so you heal instead of getting damage. But for the most part, you just want to use your utility and elite skill. So your legendary Facet of Darkness pulses Fury, and the flip over skill is a stun break, but you won't use it normally. So you just use the normal Fury permanent, let's say, proccing around you. Then you have swiftness around pulsing you, but you will want to use it for some DPS, the flip over skill that is. And then you have Facet of Strength that will apply some might around you, but will also give you a damage buff when you cast it. So be aware that you cast all these 3 skills for the boons, but those 2 skills also for the damage. And then you have your Chaos facet, which will pulse protection around you, but will also do some heavy damage and super speed when you recast it. Now to the really strong one, Facet of Nature. You want to upkeep it in Glint because it will extend the, let's say, duration of boons when you cast it again. Really strong. And therefore, you should always be aware that you have this ability to help your allies really good. And then in the second thing, you can either go Shiro for maximum damage or Dwarf. If you go for the Dwarf stance, you will have access to a lot of stability, but you lose some damage. Be aware of that. But if your team struggles with stability application, you should always go for that because you are support after all. A DPS support, but you're support. And on your second weapon set, the most important skills are actually only the really strong CC with your 5 skill. And I would also say the block can be nice and some healing, but most of the time you just want to use your CC on this weapon. So only swap to it when you really need CC, otherwise you will lose a lot of damage. In Shiro, the only real skills you use is actually Impossible Odds because it will just increase your damage and give some quickness with your traits. All other skills are not important. That's a stun break and that's a teleport and that's a really heavy CC, but most of the time you should not use these skills because you need this to upkeep quickness and deal a lot of damage. Regarding the rotation. For the opener, you want to activate Facet of Element, Facet of Strength and Facet of Darkness before the encounter begins. As soon as the encounter begins, you will want to activate Facet of Nature and instantly pop True Nature as well. This will allow you to extend the one-time pop of quickness to +3 seconds. And then you will cast Elemental Blast and Burst of Strength. After that, you instantly activate Facet of Chaos and Chaotic Release, and you swap to Legendary Assassin stance. This is the opener. After that, you are in your, so to say, loop. Loop is really simple. You just have to cast Chilling Isolation, Shackling Wave, and Death Strike off cooldown. It doesn't matter in which stance you are. If you're in Legendary Assassin stance, always instantly activate Impossible Odds. It should always be running while you are in this stance. If all of your, let's say, 2, 4, and 5 skills are on cooldown, you should cast auto attacks and always try to finish the chain. If Legendary Dragon stance is coming out of cooldown, you should swap into it. When you are freshly into Legendary Dragon stance after the opener again, you will want to cast Facet of Strength, instantly activate the flip over skill, as well as Facet of Strength where you do the same. Meanwhile, you cast Facet of Darkness once, And as soon as Facet of Chaos and Facet of Nature are off cooldown, you activate them again once. In between all of those, you activate your sword skills. And when you see that your Facet of Elements and Facet of Strength flip over skills are about to be off cooldown, then you use True Nature and Chaotic Release. And after that, you cast Elemental Blast and Burst of Strength. Burst of Strength is the last thing you do before swapping back to Legendary Assassin stance, where you instantly again activate Impossible Odds and do your sword skills. That's the rotation. It's really simple, and I hope you have as much fun and success with this build as I do. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.